one more for you guys. This is one that Steve came up with. I know that he's very interested in the fact that possibly AOC running for president.
Woo! I can't wait.
Why AOC could take the White House in 2028. When former Vice President Kamala Harris announced that she would not be running for California governor, she appeared to leave the door open to another shot at the White House in 2028. However, the real Democratic contender to watch is not Harris. Rather, implausible as it may seem to some, New York Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez appears to be the frontrunner for the Democrat 2028 presidential nomination. Should she forego a Senate campaign, which she would most certainly win? Put another way, right now, Kamala Harris will likely not be president in 2028, but AOC could very well be the Democrat nominee with a shot at the White House. I say this for multiple reasons. First, it could be argued that AOC is even stronger than other presidential candidates at this moment in their careers or respective races. At this point in 2028 election cycle, in 2008 election cycle, coinciding with the summer of 2005, Barack Obama was not even considered enough of a serious candidate to be included in polls. Likewise, in 2020 primary, which Harris was forced to withdraw from before a single vote was cast, Harris' high watermark in the poll 2 years out was 7% in Axios poll. So, Steve, I know you've said that you feel like she's a front runner for president.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see a bartender get to be president of the United States. They'd get the backing of every bar goer in the country for that.
We got a felon as president. I mean, what's the difference?
Well, yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, we got it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
hey,
we're making strides. We're making strides for diversity, I guess is what we're doing.
You know, I mean, it's funny because I mean, when you look at it, I bet you a lot of people have had different backgrounds, and because I know that she's also she was a bartender while she was going to college. Actually, yeah. I believe she has her law degree or something like that. But we call her a bartender though. It's crazy that we would just say you're a bartender when she probably has, like, I'm not sure, maybe it's just a bachelor's degree. I don't know what she has, but she has a college degree.
I don't think she has a college degree. I don't think she's a lawyer.
College degree, you know what I mean? But everyone calls her a bartender. Like, that's a bad thing. When she didn't have daddy's money to be able to not have to work and go to college at the same time, we're all degrading that person, but we're cheering on the guy who had bone spurs, who was like, oh, I can play football, but I cannot go to war. I cannot, you know what I'm saying? I cannot serve in your army, sir. My dad gave me a what do you call it? A meager.
Remember
a meager sum of $1 million in the 70s.
If he had bone spurs, that was a reason for being kept out of the military.
Yeah, I mean, that was also a reason a lot of people used to be kept out of the war. You know what I mean? He said he's the most fit president we've ever had, but he's had bone spurs. What's going on? Which one is it? Is he got bone spurs or doesn't he got bone spurs?
He's got cankles.
I mean? He's got them now because he didn't do nothing with himself.
Earlier. Yeah, we did talk about cankles earlier.
Yeah, they're hereditary.
I don't have a problem with her running. I think it's going to be. I think it's a really good thing for the Democratic Party. Don't get me wrong, because you need somebody in there that's a fresh face, because you have nobody right now. Nobody.
I think we got quite a few people actually.
Not at the level that she's at in a popularity contest. That's exactly. She's definitely the most popular and most engaging person in your party at this point in time. She has been for the last 2 or 3 years, because she speaks her mind, and what right or wrong, she speaks her mind. Okay, she gets out there, she talks to the people. She's out there on the No Oligarchs tour with good old Bernie Sanders out there. Which, okay, but to me, I don't see anybody on the Democratic side of the house that can beat her if she tried to run. I don't.
Who do you think is the next big Republican candidate? I'm not to change the subject. We'll
go right back into it. It's not going to be J.D. Vance. It won't be J.D. Vance.
So you guys have no one then. So it's pretty much nobody versus nobody.
No. So, I would definitely say, I think Kemp could run.
Josh Hawley.
What's that?
Hawley will probably run. Josh Hawley.
Yeah. I think you might have Tom Cotton run. I think Marco Rubio is definitely going to run.
Tom Cotton. That says Marco.
I think Rubio.
Rubio has more of a chance than him. I think he does.
Rubio is probably the front runner if he decides to run for president. I really do.
Yeah,
I think DeSantis will probably try again. I don't, but he won't stand a snowball's chance in hell. I don't think so. I don't think Josh Hawley would stand a chance.
But has a look.
Governors. I think there's the governor of Virginia. I think would make a decent candidate for president, because he's kind of a he's not out far right. I don't think Hot Wheels is going to run for president.
Yeah, he's too divisive. I mean, he'd win a lot of he'd win probably Texas.
By the way, I do love that Crockett called him Hot Wheels. I'm just saying, I think that was a great moniker for him.
I mean,
I laughed when I heard it. Every time I hear it, I laugh.
It's strange that Texas was so like they're so willing to have diversity, and inclusion at the top of the ticket there, but they're very much like, oh, anywhere else we're not okay with it. But they're good with Abbott being disabled. It's crazy. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, they let a guy named Beto run. I mean, come on,
Beto O'Rourke.
Beto
O'Rourke. I mean, they got Ted Cruz too. I mean, as well. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that.
He's not a Beto. He's not a Beto.
It's a Cruz though. It's a Cruz.
He's a Cruz.
You know what I mean?
He's Hispanic.
But let's say this right here. I mean, I don't know if he's really claiming that side of himself or not. I don't know if he's really embracing that part of himself.
Wasn't his daddy Cuban? His daddy was Cuban,
wasn't he? He tries to make sure his name is Ted though. Ted. It's Ted. It's not anything else. It's not anything else. But what I would say, I believe we have the guy in who's the guy over the governor of Pennsylvania? What was his name?
Shapiro.
We got him. He's good.
No, he won't get, because he's Jewish. He will never be president.
I don't know.
That's why he didn't get a chance to run with Kamala.
I think that's 100%. I want to say that I'm be honest. I was happy she didn't choose him, especially at the timing. The timing of that affair did not feel good to me. That's the timing of it. It was the timing. If the timing wasn't,
she picked.
If the timing wasn't
Dullard for a vice presidential running mate.
If the timing wasn't bad as it was, I feel like that her best pick would have been Shapiro.
Oh,
if it wasn't for
what they lost because of that.
If it wasn't to a degree, and plus it's because of her too. He can't run the ticket.
No, he can't. But I think he could run the ticket, but they won't let him.
I mean, no. When I'm talking about, he couldn't have ran her ticket. That was like he was already the chosen one. He couldn't have said, "Okay, I can make this ticket work."
We didn't find out who the chosen one is. Remember? We did.
We found out who the chosen one was because they picked her. She really got a bad hand.
They didn't pick her. He picked her.
She really got a bad hand. I mean, I think the powers that be all together.
Had Joe not said that he was going to support her for president, that was the nail in the coffin right there, because they didn't get a chance to put anybody else up.
And they didn't.
Because you're not going to go against the sitting president for who he wants to be president.
And you're not gonna have a primary in July. You're not doing that. No one is. And you have your convention in August. Doesn't make any sense at all. You don't have time. Who are you going to have a primary all 50 states? You're going to primary all 50 states in that amount of time. Have a
vote at the DNC. Have a vote at the DNC.
I mean, that would. I mean,
they could have done that.
So you wait a whole extra month and kill your chances at pretty much even winning the presidency at all. That just didn't make sense.
They killed it when they
she really. I mean, no, I don't think so. I think she just really ran a bad campaign. They had a little life breathed back into it when she first came out. If she would have came out with some energy and some power,
that from all the people in the news that were sitting there going, "Oh my God, this is the best campaign anybody could ever run." That came out every single day.
I don't think so. I think
until she lost, and then it was like, "Well, it was terrible. It was terrible."
No, I was saying that from the beginning. They should have let her speak her mind. I didn't like that from the very beginning. But I think we have Shapiro. I think we have what was that, Osloff in you guys' state? What was his name?
But I don't think he's going to win the Senate.
I think you will. Depending on who's running against.
Yeah, I don't remember who's running against.
There's probably nobody that can beat him right now. I think he's young and vibrant in your state. I think that he probably has a lot of money behind him as well from different, interest groups. I think we got AOC, you got Bernie,
Bernie won't run. There's no way Bernie runs.
Possibly.
No way.
I'm not sure how old he is.
Done. I think we are done with geriatrics. Okay.
I'm not sure how old he is. I'm not sure how old he is.
Even on the Republican side, we're not going to have anybody that old again.
I'm not sure how old Bernie is though right now. Bernie's always looked old.
He's in his 80s.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in his 80s.
I don't know. But I mean, so maybe it's not him, but I believe we'll have a candidate akin to that type of populist kind of a, that kind of a
that's AOC.
Kind of a vibe. I don't know if it'll be AOC. I mean, I hope that she's gonna have to polish up a lot more to be able to run on a national level. I really think that. So that's kind of what I think about that. But I hope that I like her though. Personally, I really like AOC. I like her policies. I think she's for the people. Period.
I think Mayor Pete's probably going to run.
Buttigieg probably will run too. I think
he'll probably run again. I think you'll probably have at least a dozen people on the Democratic
definitely.
ticket.
I mean, more than that probably.
Newsom's definitely going to run.
Yeah, I think Newsom might run too.
Definitely run.
And I've told myself I don't want to vote for Newsom because of his stances. The more I've listened to him talk, the more I've kind of grown to like him a little bit better. But at the same time, I don't like what you came out for in California. And that's one thing that makes it hard for me to support him.
He's doing one thing that's pretty smart.
PR.
Okay. He's putting himself out there with other people from the other side of the aisle.
Hannity, he put himself out there with the other guy, Sean. I think his name was Strickland or whatever his guys. I forget his name.
And that's a smart thing to do because you get your name out there on both sides of the house,
and you let the fight happen right there. You're basically running a campaign against everything that's negative against you. Because the first guy you talk to, he may kid glove you a little bit, but when you get to a Handy, the second and third guy when it's their turn to talk to you, they're going to know all your talking points, so they're going to hit you with things that other people can say. Hey, say this to him. Say this to him. Ask him that.
It's very good practice.
It's great
good practice. And I don't.
It's hard to beat the whole entire baggage that they come with.
I think he's two-faced a little bit.
Me too. He took away reparations.
That's why I wouldn't really trust him to vote for him. I'm not saying there's not anybody out there I wouldn't vote for on the Democratic side if they had.
I don't know. You're a Republican. You voted for Bob Dole. You said you voted for Bob Dole. No.
No, I didn't vote for Bob Dole. I did not. I don't know.
I don't know if you didn't vote that election. I think you did. I think you just tell us you voted for Bob Dole
on that one.
I think you told us. I think we had a conversation a little earlier about there are people, and he's like, I voted for Bob Dole. Then he want to take it back to he didn't vote for Bob Dole. I said nobody voted for Bob Dole. Let's be honest. He was like, yeah, I voted for Bob Dole. But no, but I think don't get me wrong. I love AOC's moral. I love the fact she's out for the Green New Deal. I love the fact that she's for the people. She wants to help. I mean, that's what this is all about. That's what's hurting our country. We do not have a strong middle class. We look at the top end of our country. They basically own all the wealth.
But socialism is not going to help the middle class.
It's not about. I don't think that it's all about all out. So you know me. I'm not about socialism, but I do think it's about.
But she is. She's 100% for socialism.
And that's where I think that's what's
going to kill her.
And that's why I think that she has to it's hard. It's going to be ever. This is what I'm going to say. I think people are going to move more towards socialist policies as we grow as a country, because you know why? Because this country's moving more toward an oligarchy. It just is.
You're not going to have grocery stores, retail stores like what Mamdani wants to do in New York City. They're not going to want to do that. It's not going to happen.
He's not. But you know what he's doing? You know what he's really doing? I mean, honestly, what he's really doing, he's saying, I'm going to start 5 grocery stores. I think in the 5 boroughs. He's going to put 1 in each borough, where he's going to say, you know what? We're going to have better controls on our prices of the food that we eat. Our government puts so much money. I'm out. That's true. We can't do it. We can't do that. We can't. If we're subsidizing you, we talked about this already. And we're subsidizing you to not grow certain fruits and vegetables, or to not not have as many cows and pigs or whatever. And we're subsidizing you with food stamps as well too. On top of that, come on, there is an opportunity. And also, if you're price gouging our people, we have a duty to step in and say, you know what? People are hungry. People are starving. Our grocery bills are through the roof. No, you're not going to overcharge us. Just like we have a duty when it comes to medicine.
But Wesley, you're talking about New York City, the biggest capitalist city in the world.
And there's nothing wrong with capitalism. There's something wrong with price gouging. We have laws against price gouging. You know that, right? In this country, we have laws against price gouging. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening.
You're not going to be able to control the price of goods and services. You just can't do it.
They do it all the time. You can't sit there
and say you can't sell that orange for more than 50 cents. You can't do
that.
If there because the price of commodities and produce
fluctuate exactly, and that's what they'll go off of. It will not be gone off of. Hey, this is a quarter. It's always a quarter. It's going to be a quarter.
Price control.
That's okay. So what I'm saying is, it's going to go off of more of off market price of it. Not saying this is what they're doing right now. They make it they're making it for 5 cents or 2-3 cents a piece or whatever, less than that even, and they're selling them for $1.50. Come on, man. It's gotten to a point to where we're getting gouged, even for our medicines, even for our medical, everything we're getting gouged for. It's a problem. It's seen every country in the world.
It's never gonna fly. It's never flown. It's never been successful. Tell me a country that's been successful as a socialist country. Zero.
This
Zero.
This is what I'm gonna say. I don't
tell
think
me.
I don't.
Do you have?
I don't.
Do you have one? Do you have
I believe this is. Let me finish. Let me finish. What I'm gonna say is I don't believe in socialism as a whole. I've never have. I don't think it's a good idea as a whole.
What New York's gonna get.
No, they're not. They're not going to get socialism. What they're going to say is, you know what? I'm going to bring down the price of rent. I'm going to bring down the price of food. I'm going to bring down the price of transportation. Like I'm going to make it free for city buses. I'm going to bring some of those things and put those things in line. I'm going to help you with
own property, right? You own property.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Are you okay with the government telling you you can't raise the price of your rent for the property that you own?
This is what I'm going to say. I mean, I'm not going to say that I 110% agree with that, but I do agree with the fact of how quickly their prices of their rent has gone through the roof. I do believe that that's a problem. That's an issue.
Guess what? Taxes go up.
Taxes, yeah, absolutely. And so these things, and so do you know what his plan is? His plan is, which Maryland has already done the same exact thing. I believe that Maryland, I believe it was in Maryland, Massachusetts, did the same exact thing already. Where they raised the rate on their top earners to 4%, and you know what, to their millionaires, and you know what they said the millionaires would flee. They went up. They got 40% more millionaires from the time they did that than and until now. So I mean, this is not. It doesn't happen that way when they. So this is how you supplement some of those programs that they're going to have here. You know what I mean? This is how I'm looking at it.
I do not see that working in a city like New York. I just don't see it.
I don't think that. I think that we get it wrong when we say that, oh, we don't want these people to tell us how much we should be able to raise our prices. I think that people have just raised their prices so exponentially high and so quickly that's the problem. More than it is the problem of you raising your rent.
Well,
it's
let
the
me
problem
ask
of how much.
Why do you think those prices go up though?
I think it's because whoever's willing to pay for it after a minute.
No. Taxes. That's the reason. That's a reason. But I also believe that probably the biggest reason, because New York State is one of the highest tax states in the country, if not the highest.
I don't know if that to be true or not. I can't say that's true or not.
I think California might have them beat.
But they're high. But they're taxed on their high. It's their high earners that are taxed the most. It's not their lower earners. Not in California, at least, because Gavin Newsom already came out and said it. We have the lowest tax rates for our middle and lower class people. We have the lowest tax rates, like some of the lowest tax rates around the country, lower than Texas. It's even been said. It's already out there. It's our high earners that get taxed the most. That's why it sounds like that. But let me say this: Do I believe that? Like I say, I believe that this country already has socialist ideologies within it already. We have the police force, we have the military, a lot of them. We have a lot, but do we need? Should there be universal health care? Should there be universal child care?
I don't agree with the military and fire departments being socialist.
They are. That's a socialist program. Look it up. You should look it up.
A lot of them get paid. They get paid.
Every socialist people get paid too. You're saying socialism people don't get paid in socialism?
But I mean, it's for protection. It's a program that everyone pays for.
That's pretty much you should look it up.
Okay,
it's true.
In a technical term, yes.
It's socialism.
I'll give you that.
It just is. You know what I mean?
But that's not really socialism. You're paying for a service, is what you're doing.
You know why we don't like to. You know why we don't like to hear that.
Service.
You know why? Yeah, and that's what socialism does, pays for services. But you know why we don't like to hear that? Because socialism becomes a bad term. That's why we all have to look at it. Oh, it's bad. It's a bad thing. No, it's not bad.
It's never worked
as an overall ideology. It should not be our overall ideology as a country. I don't believe that. But I do believe we should be looking out for our people first.
That's what maybe the future mayor of New York wants.
No, I don't think so. I think that he wants to look out for the people who are being left behind. That's what I think he wants to do. I think he wants to say, you know what? New York has this many million people. Only this small amount of them have a lot of money. The rest of them are struggling.
He also wanted to defund
badly. I mean, I think in some aspects you need to say, you know what? Okay,
I don't think city of New York.
I don't think that, you know what? A lot of these places are having their.
What did you just say?
A lot of these cities have
a bad thing. If you want to defund the police,
you know that crime in America has plummeted since the 90s by a lot. But let me say this: I don't think it's about defunding the police. I think it's about allocating funds in the right place. I don't think that's a policeman need to go into every situation. Dealing with that. I think dealing with that situation. I think sometimes you have to send in maybe a policeman along with mental health experts to deal with certain things. It shouldn't be police to deal with. Go take the kitten out the tree. Go do this. Go do that. No, some things we don't need you to do. We need you to fight crime, real crime. This is where we need you to be at right here. Now let's take this money and reallocate it to something different. One more time.
They get animal control to do the kitten.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm just talking about every situation should not be handled by a policeman who was probably poorly trained. I mean, doesn't have the kind of rest time at home with his family, and just probably has mental health issues that he doesn't even aren't even dealing with, because he just has to get up and see the worst of people every single day. We do need a different way of dealing with. Why do we have some people incarcerated in this country? There's a problem around the board. We have education problem. We have childcare problem. There's a lot that's going on here. Back in the day, we used to have two parents in a home. One could stay home, the other could go to work. So we had a better balance at home. We don't have that anymore. So we have higher crime rates and worse things going on.
Well, I mean, you see the nuclear family is no longer existent in this country because the left doesn't want it.
No, that's not
true.
The
left. The left is pushing that.
That's not true.
Oh my God, it is.
This is what I honestly believe. It's not about that. It's happened well before that. It happened once you start seeing prices rise, once you start seeing the middle class plummet. This is when this happened. When the middle class fell off the cliff, that's when you start seeing that happening. And a lot of other things too, as far as like, the war on drugs, you know what I mean? A lot of other things that we can get into as well. Where they start attacking certain people in this country. Yeah. They start attacking certain people. Absolutely. When they start attacking certain class people in this country, we saw it happen. It's the government. They saw that how they can divide the people and take the money. How can you do it? What's the best way you can possibly do it? And when you say the government, you're talking about the people who control the government, people with the money. They got the money. I control the government. That's just how it goes. The government doesn't control itself. There's people who have the money who pull the strings of government. And that's what the problem is. They pulled our strings to the degree.
I don't disagree with that. But again, society itself is, when you go to New York City, I don't know if you've ever been to New York City. I've been there quite a few times. I was there last winter. It has changed dramatically. When I was there when I was 16, it was back in the 80s. It was horrible.
Horrible. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I mean, you couldn't go to Times Square. You couldn't go to Times Square. I was 16. I was scared for my life up there.
Yeah.
But definitely. I turn around. I've gone back numerous times over the years because I didn't live too far away from there.
Mm-hmm.
But this last time I went up over the winter, around Christmas time, it's done a 180. Giuliani cleaned it up. What Bloomberg helped clean it up. I mean, he had both sides of the house that had cleaned up New York finally. Tried to get rid of a lot of the bad element there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more, family oriented there than it used to be, a lot more. But there's still problems. There's still there is a lack of numbers in the police force, period. The crime rate in New York, yes, it may have gone down a little bit, but it's still pretty existent there. It's still pretty bad. You hear about it every single day. It's on almost every newscast that something happens up there. So you can't sit there as somebody who's running for the highest office in the city to sit there and have your background be what it was, the things that you've said, and not just said 20 years ago. These are things that were said within the last 5 years. That he wants to defund police.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about.
Wrong with
no, I don't think so at all. I think that when you start arming your police force, I think that what invites more crime is lack of education. What invites more crime is lack of having the money to pay for groceries or pay for housing or just have a basic decency or a place to live. Things of that nature that invites crime. I think that's our worst problem right there.
That leads to leadership. That's a leadership problem.
Absolutely.
That means leadership of New York.
And I think
means Kathy Hochul. That means the Democratic governor of New York is failing her citizens, period.
No, I mean, I would say that it's been going on. It's been failing. This country has failed itself for a very, very, very long time. It's not just.
We're not talking about the country. We're talking about the state of New York.
It's this country as a whole. When you turn to it, but let's just say the state of New York is probably one of the wealthier, more educated states in the union. So let's just figure out where the rest of these guys are falling at right there. We're going to point at New York and say that New York with its over 12, 15, 20 million people are having crime problems. When you have to look at a little city which probably has like 5,000-6,000 people, we're all on drugs. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's not to knock drugs. I'm just saying there's a problem there. So we cannot look at New York and be like, you're the worst possible thing there is. Look at New York and California, but they're thriving overall. They're thriving.
I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is you can't have a candidate with the track record of Mamdani take what he wants to do to that city, because it's not going to happen.
What's wrong with what he wants to do there? I haven't heard anything bad that he wants to do. When he's talking about, hey, let's try an idea. We bring in 5 grocery stores, one for each borough, and we see if we can try to help out with with pricing for our people. One store, maybe
there's 5 boroughs. There's 5 boroughs for what, 15, 20 million people, you said?
Yeah, well, he's gonna it's a try. He's just putting out a market research kind of thing.
Is he gonna sit there and go, all right, well,
no,
in the city of New York, we can't have.
He doesn't have to. You know what'll happen if his store's people are going to this store more. What he'll do is say, you know what, let's build another one in this borough. Maybe it needs another one, and maybe those other stores will say, you know what, maybe we need to start competing with these prices instead of gouging. We've heard what happened when the Democrats came out in the summer when of the election cycle and say, you know what, we should put out a bill where we start getting into price gouging for supermarkets. What they start doing? Oh, we're going to cut our prices by 30%. Who could cut your prices by 30% out of the blue, and not lose money and be okay with it? Who do you know? Unless they were already beating you to begin with. Let's just be honest. We gotta do something about that. That's a problem. I'm watching my grocery bill.
My grocery bill is crazy. They shouldn't do something about that. But what I'm saying is, you can't sit there and tell a whole city you've got to clamp down on what you charge for things. That's not going to happen.
I think
you can't have the taxes are too high in that state for any prices to come down. Unless they bring the taxes down, they are not going to be able to afford to have a business there to begin with.
I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think that they'll make concessions for whatever the taxes will be. But if the prices are down,
you're a business owner. Yeah, if your taxes go up, what happens to the prices that you have to charge somebody?
I mean, listen, it's not like that. It's
not like
question. But that's not how it is. But that's not how it is. Because this is how taxes are kind of allocated. First, you're taxed on whatever the state tax is that you bring in. That's the state tax. You give that to them off top. That's their money that you give to them off top. You may be taxed on what you earn, but as a business owner, you know how to curtail what you earn. Right? This is what I spent. This is what I earned. So I'm able to kind of use that differently. So it's a different way to do it. Depending on what I'm earning. If I'm earning more money, I'm going to be taxed more.
Use the tax code, right?
I mean, that's kind of what they do. But at the end of the day, so you're only being taxed on what you earn. So if a business is earning a lot of money, they're going to get taxed on the money that they earn. It doesn't mean that I'm going to tax a business more. I'm not saying that.
Listen, I'm not talking about the money you earn. Property taxes.
Okay.
Sales taxes.
Okay.
All the things that go up because the states need money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what causes a lot of why your rent has to go up. Mm-hmm. Why the cost of wood to fix something goes up. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the income that you make. I'm talking about all the stuff that's surrounded.
I think those things could also be put into this bill as a whole, as whatever it's a bill, whatever it is, put into this and looked at as well. You're not just going to look at one thing and say, you know what, let's just bring the prices down and not worry about the business because you need the business.
They're not going to lower the taxes.
I'm
because
not.
If you lower taxes, then you run the risk of not being able to spend money on the social programs that you have.
This is not to say. I mean, this depending upon what people have. People have more money to spend on certain things. You may not need as many social programs at that point. If I got more money to spend on childcare, I may not need a childcare program. I may not need this or this, that, or the third. If I have more money for these things.
Are you talking about Democrats? Because Democrats don't know how to stay away from social programs. Spend money on social programs. You guys go crazy when there's no money for social programs.
It's crazy that the Republicans talk about who are more in need of the social programs than anyone. And they're the ones talking about how Democrats are here to help them. We're helping the Republicans with these social programs.
Are you trying to tell me that we don't spend more in big cities on social programs than other places in the country?
Of course, because there's more people. Because there's more people. That's normal. It's like to say if there's 10 people over here and one person over here,
I'm going to spend
more for the 10 people than I am for the one.
You just got done saying Republicans, and it's mostly Democrats that live in those cities.
Yes. What I'm going to say is this right here.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. If you're going off of sheer, we have to look at
this. We're talking numbers, sheer numbers.
We have to look at this as far as percentage wise as well too, because even in those states, most of these sheer numbers are saying that blue states are paying for red states to have social programs. Period. Overall, so they're covering their people in their state and they're covering yours. Let's say that's sheer numbers. If we want to talk about sheer numbers, but what we're saying is percentage wise.
But yet they have budget deficits in those states. Complete.
You know that. most states can't run. I mean, I think it's municipalities, cities can't run budget deficits. But I mean, these states are being able to pay for themselves and take care of their responsibilities more or less. They're not borrowing money from the federal government. They're not doing any of that, and they're putting money back into the federal government.
A lot of big cities get money from the federal government. That's just
but most of them are putting money. Most blue cities are putting money back into the federal government. When you got states who are just red states who are not. But with that, we'll leave it there for today. I think AOC. She may be good to run.
I think it would be fun to watch her run. I think it would be fun to see her on a debate stage. I really do. I really think it would be fun to see her. I think there's, it's not going to be a Kamala Harris to Joe Biden, you're a racist kind of thing. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think there's anybody to say that about. I don't think there's going to be anybody to say that about.
No. I don't think anybody's going to say that to AOC. But what I'm saying is, I don't think you're going to have that kind of
vitriol. No, they're going to fight this out because it's wide open. They got to fight this out. They have to fight this out.
I don't think it's going to be calling Big Daddy a racist.
I think what it'll end up being is calling her socialist, and that's just as bad in this country when you say it overall as an overall thing. In this country, people don't understand that some forms of socialism are helpful and other forms are hurtful. We don't understand.
She does have her what's the word I'm looking for? Faux pas when it comes to some of the statements that she's made over the last few years. But I mean, that's going to come out.
For everybody. That's for everybody too.
That's going to happen with everybody. But I think it's going to be fun. I really do. I think there's at least a dozen people that I know of that could probably run on the Democratic side, and there's only one that I know of that I would vote for if she runs. Just
who? Who is it?
Amy Klobuchar.
Like Amy Klobuchar, huh?
If she'd have come out in 2016 and beaten Hillary, I would have voted for her.
You think that what is it for what purpose? What do you think that she brings to the table?
She is down the middle centrist. She is what a liberal is supposed to be.
Whoa. Just a liberal, huh? Not a conservative, just a liberal, huh?
No, that's what a centrist liberal is supposed to be. That's who she is.
All right, I'll give you that one. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research. I know a little bit about Amy Klobuchar, but I'm gonna do some more research on her as well too. And with that,
because you don't do research on anything else.
And with that, this is uncommon. This is sorry about this. This is Civil Discourse. I am your host Wesley. This is my co-host Steve. We'll see you guys next time.
Have a great night.